Hey Twitch, how are you doing? It's great to be here back. I'm back here with Julian and Julio to discuss about some of the cool stuff, especially regarding,
Yeah,
what happened today, right?
Yeah, there was a lot today around machine learning and AI, and this is being asked a lot. I guess we should cover some of the announcements, but before that, let's recap what's been going on lately. Like, we had some heating up to this.
Yeah, we did.
Do you want to go back?
Yeah, so
Tell us,
let's just go back maybe a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Machine learning needs a lot of computing power, right? We need
That's right.
firepower. And a few weeks ago, we announced with support for the latest Intel architecture, hosted in the C5 family. So now we have the Skylake chips, which are extremely good, especially for prediction, inference, etc. And
that's inference on
that's inference
for machine learning
for machine
models.
learning, exactly.
Right.
And just a few days after that, we announced support for the latest NVIDIA chips, the Volta GPU, which is a beast.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that.
So it's the most powerful GPU available today. It's got over 5,000 floating point cores.
That's crazy.
5,000,
That's
right?
insane.
And it has a new type of cores. They're called tensor cores, and they're able to do 3D operations.
That's crazy.
So that's even better when you need to speed up machine learning and deep learning training. And so they're available in the P3 family, and you can get from 1 GPU to 8.
Okay.
That's more processing power than you would dream of, really.
Julian, you're famous for your benchmarks. Have you done some of those with that?
Yeah, so I did some very preliminary benchmarks between the P2 family
Okay.
and the P3 family.
Alright.
Same code, same training, and out of the box, I got anywhere between 2x and 3x speed up
Just
on
like
training, just like that. And I didn't even tweak, and I didn't even get into the weird stuff. So, and I will. But
sure.
yeah, so P3 is a beast.
So just for everyone to know, Julian has a blog on Medium about AI and machine learning, and he's got very famous for doing those all kind of benchmarks.
Yeah,
So-
I love benchmarks.
So
I
it's
absolutely
cool,
love
it's
benchmarks,
cool.
and customers love benchmarks.
Exactly, yeah.
So I figured, hey, let's
Exactly.
let's do that.
It's cool.
So yeah, so this is the lower level, right? Like Andy explained this morning. At the end of the day, you need
Yeah.
CPUs and you need GPUs,
Absolutely.
but the really good stuff is what is on top of that, right, Julio?
Yeah, one thing that I get a lot is this idea of operating in each level. So you could use the pre-built service or the framework or going underlying to the underlying infrastructure. And we've been showing that with powerful GPUs, with FPGAs, with bare metal access, that cloud is not only virtualized on top of virtual machine and turtles all the way down, but you do have access to underlying Volta GPUs, huge FPGAs or bare metal instances, and this is important for machine learning.
Yeah, you can also leverage the elasticity of the cloud, actually, which fits very well for the machine learning.
Yeah.
Because you need to use thousands of instances.
Exactly. So
to run the model.
imagine having to buy tens of or hundreds of GPUs.
Yeah.
Imagine having to install them in physical servers. Imagine the hosting bill for that, right? I mean, the electricity bill, etc. And that's very quickly an insane problem to solve.
Absolutely.
So now you can use the same elasticity that you've been using for years on AWS, right? Except you're not using T2 Micro, you're using P3 8XL.
That's crazy.
Then that's a monster, right? you play with the monsters.
Absolutely.
And if you need 100 of those, then go and grab 100 of those.
Yep.
Use Spot instances, and you get
reduce your bill right away.
a mountain of processing power at a very low price.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So let's start talking about the new stuff then.
Yeah, sure.
Well, what was released today? Come on, Jill. Tell us a little bit.
Where should I start? So
What's your favorite? I mean, you're the...
yes, I mean SageMaker. SageMaker is the one for me.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We had Amazon machine learning for a long time, but what we see in developing this stuff is that it's so hard to get to the actual model. Building the model, it's just the end of machine learning. You have to clean the data, integrate with many data sources, and filter the thing, adjust your parameters, weight characteristics. So doing this up to production, right? Up to have scalable production.
Yeah.
And I guess that the whole idea of SageMaker is streamlining this process.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the main thing I've been facing over the years in previous lives is you have data science teams experimenting with models, algorithms, etc. And they get to the point where it works, right? And then they come to the DevOps team or whoever is in charge of deploying that, and it doesn't work at all. It doesn't scale, it doesn't behave as expected, it's too slow, etc. And you have this gap, right, that it is very hard to cross between the experimentation world and the production world. And now, one of the great things about SageMaker is that it goes all the way. You can start from the notebook, experimenting, testing, iterating, etc. And then go into the actual training, scaling to multiple instances if you need that. And once you're happy with the model, it's a one API call to deploy it, like you said, to deploy it behind an endpoint and job done, right?
Yeah, I have a question from Brett7777. I'm not sure
Lots
if
of
I
sevens.
got the right amount of
He's
sevens.
been asking
but
questions today, so it's great.
what's
Hi, Brett.
the output of a
Brett.
model? Like when you are ready and that's good enough for production, what comes out of it? Is it a file? Or?
Yeah, so in the case of a neural network, you will typically have two files, right? You will have one file that's the model description, all the layers and how they're connected to one another, etc., right? In the case of Apache MXNet, that's a JSON file, and you can actually look at it. And more importantly, you have all the weights, right? And that's called the parameter file. And that's basically all the neuron weights that have been learned during training. So that's actually the file that you need to
Description of your neural network.
Yeah, exactly. The actual neural network itself.
But on SageMaker, it can just give you the endpoint. You don't even need to care about the files, actually.
Yeah. So thanks for bringing it up. The cool thing, the other cool thing about SageMaker is that we provide you with lots of stuff that's really off the shelf. You have algos that are going to solve some specific problems like classification and regression, etc. So you can just go and pick that and just throw your data at that algo, right? Data is probably in S3 anyway, and that's a very short script and a very short thing to write, very easy. But if you want to go wild, if you are a proper expert and you want to implement your own algo and everything custom, just go and put that in a Docker container, and we can do the training and we can do the prediction using the Docker containers too. So again, if you're a newbie or if you're the world expert, you can use SageMaker. It's fantastic.
I have to go there because now I want to talk about some service that I think were fantastic.
So yeah, let's cover the rest.
You like going. I know you like to put your hands dirty and do some Jupyter notebook, do your train model. What I like is connect services together. So I was the kind of kids that take Lego bricks and put things together. And in machine learning, we just released 3 services that exactly fits that. We have Translate, Amazon Translate.
Amazon Translate.
We got Transcribe.
Yes, sir.
And we just also launched recognition video, right?
Yeah.
So for me, you just start using them and you can build really, really powerful AI-powered application. For me, it blows my mind that you can start having a video feed, do real-time recognition on top of that.
Yeah, now you can imagine that we have a video feed. We can analyze the content of the video with recognition in real time, right? So we can do, and it's much more than frame by frame. It's actually,
It's
proper
context,
video
GOP.
context. Yeah, exactly.
On the group of pictures.
Video context. Hey, you actually know this stuff.
Yeah,
all right.
I've worked on videos.
Oh yeah,
for
did
many,
your
many
homework.
years.
All right.
Yeah, what are
Just kidding.
the kind of things that?
So you could do that. You could track the content in the video. you could grab the sound from the
Absolutely.
video, you could transfer that to text,
Text.
with transcribe,
Transcribe it.
you could translate it in real time with translate.
Oh no, you
and
gotta
then-
build that video.
Yeah, we got to do that.
That demo.
That demo. And then you could use Comprehend, which is the other text service that we launched, Amazon
Exactly.
Comprehend, to do natural language processing, extract
Yeah.
topics, extract entities.
and
so
we
it
understand
yeah.
the meaning of what is being sent. Right?
So yeah, so we could take a video in a foreign language,
translate it.
analyze the video content,
Yeah.
translate the sound, the audio to text, translate the text to English, do NLP on it.
Yeah, it's crazy. And
So-
it's simple API calls, right?
Yeah, it's
so
very
see if you're
simple.
familiar with Amazon Recognition and Amazon Poly, they're gonna be very similar. It's one API call where you push your text and you can, for example, have the translation, you can understand the context with transcribe. You know, it's gonna be very, very powerful.
Imagine you could build a video conferencing system, that would do simultaneous translation,
Right.
right? And
What
man,
would you build?
Man, imagine anything.
So I'm giving you a real example. I'm living in Finland for 15 years. I do speak some Finnish, but I think it would be great to have a real-time translation of what is being said. Take the sound, translate that into text, do something cool, and maybe give me some
Yeah.
context in real time of what's happening
So
around me. Or I don't know.
Once
stick
we're
stuff
back
together.
from reInvent and we get some sleep, right?
Yeah.
I know all of us are gonna go crazy on these, right?
Yeah.
So expect some blogs and crazy
I
demos.
think
We're
it's
gonna
gonna
go
be
crazy with
Yeah,
this, right? It's just too funny,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, there's a lot of important stuff like security that could be built with this, like watching cameras automatically from translation, in
Sentiment
media,
analysis.
sentiment analysis.
When you talk live, you can
Yeah.
figure out,
Yeah.
what people are telling in real time.
I want to I want to get my camera on my bike and just roll on the street and understand having it
around you.
ingested. That's
So it's funny that you should talk about a camera, right?
Yeah.
Because, maybe that's the last thing we could cover today, is that deep lens thing, right?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about it.
Well, for me, it's a big thing because I love playing with toys, right? And Deep Lens is directly a camera on which you can have a machine learning algorithm there at the edge working with you on the camera. You don't have to do the inference in the cloud. You can actually train your model in the cloud and have it, directly on Deep Lens.
Yeah,
and do lot of different cool use cases.
when we started talking about MXNet and why we chose it. We said that it is scalable,
Yeah.
so we can run it on huge servers and on tiny machines.
Great
and
point.
I think this is a key aspect. And we just announced machine learning support for Greengrass and IoT, and also the camera with embedded models that you can just get your model out of the cloud and deploy it to the camera. And one particular thing that I liked is that it comes with these pre-bundle examples. For example, cat and dog recognition and whatnot.
Yeah, it has 7 or 8 sample projects. And so let's dive a little deeper for a minute or two. The way this works is, so you're gonna train your model. So of course you could play with the existing models, right? But I'm hoping that very quickly customers will want to try their own models.
Exactly.
So you're going to train it in SageMaker, of course, right? And then you're going to deploy it to the camera, and we do this using Greengrass, actually, that IoT service that we announced last year.
So it's deployed on the Deep Sense.
So it's pushed to the camera through Greengrass, and on the camera itself, we run a Lambda function, right? That's going to process the incoming video feed, push it through the model, okay? And you will have 2 different things going out of the camera. You will have the processed feed, and you can actually visualize both. If you plug the camera into an HDMI, into an HDMI monitor, you can see the original feed and the modified feed. And more interestingly, I think, you get IoT messages sent by the Lambda function, so the actual prediction or classification, the actual processing that's done on the feed is pushed through IoT to the IoT gateway, and that's MQTT messages, right? We know about these.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and and then you can basically grab those messages on the IoT gateway with the rules, etc. And I think
to other AWS services.
you mentioned the Lego architecture.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a fantastic
Yeah.
example. It's a device, but all the software and all the services are already existing, right? This ties into SageMaker, Greengrass, Lambda, AWS IoT. So this goes to show that we eat our own dog food, right? When we build a deep learning camera, and I'm not aware of any other.
There's a good use case on Twitter.
Yeah, we'll look at that.
Someone wants to make it recognize salespeople that give electric shocks. I'm not
Okay,
sure if
well, I
would do
can
that, but-
vouch for that, but okay, give it a try. We use our own services to
Let
build
me-
this device, and that's
The interesting
That's great.
thing to me is you can shock the guy offline. So as it's based on Greengrass and machine learning model is on the device, even if you're disconnected to the
Yeah.
cloud, it can recognize the salesperson and shock it up.
So Abom TV that give that use case on Twitch, please let us know before you put that in use so you don't kill us.
yeah. Well, be responsible, but
Exactly.
have fun. Okay.
Yeah, no,
last thing I can say is that you
it's
can
to have fun.
pre-order it on Amazon.com today.
249.
$249. And it should be delivered by April, right? That's the current date.
I can't wait to start hacking around.
Exactly. Hopefully we can get one before that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know who we have to bribe, but okay, we'll figure it out
It's
later.
actually been very difficult to get our hands on. So
All right.
hopefully we can bribe some
Yeah,
people.
and we are always on stream live coding these things. And if you have any ideas, make sure you drop us a line, talk to us on Twitch, on Twitter, find us. We would love to build this stuff with you.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely.
So anything else we want to talk about, or?
Oh, there was a question, I think. What's the resolution on the cam? So good. Thank you for the question. It's Dread again, right? Dread is on fire today. So it's a 2 megapixel camera with 1080 resolution, right?
All right, cool.
Right. You can find all the specs on the Amazon.com website.
correct.
All right, I think we're out of time.
Yeah, we need
Already?
to wrap up.
Yeah,
it
let's
was
wrap up.
great to
Yeah, it was great.
be on stage with you. Thanks everyone to be online, and
Thank you.
see you soon again.
All right, keep rocking.